Hi, I'm Mad Coyote Joe with another kitchen quick tip. Today we're talking about grilling vegetables. The problem with grilling vegetables is basically they're too dry, so when they get over the heat they tend to burn. The way we solve that problem is with a basic vinaigrette, and I'm going to show you how to make one right now. We start out with olive oil. Now I use a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 ratio depending on how tart my lemons are and how fruity my olive oil is. So you're thinking about, if you're doing a lot of vegetables, maybe about 1/4 cup, and then about really the juice of 1 small lemon. That's about 3.5 teaspoons or tablespoons, excuse me. So that's about right. So squeeze our lemon juice in, and now you can use a squeezer if you need to. These are really squeezing very nicely for me. Another trick if you're out in the grill is just to use your grill tongs. See, watch this. This works really well, at least it usually does, right like that. Yeah, anyway, don't worry about the seeds. This is a very, very rustic vinaigrette. Now we're going to move this forward. I'm going to show you how to prepare some garlic. We just take a whole bulb of it and go like this, and we get the garlic we want. Now, if you've never done this, if you've watched cooking shows, you've seen this 1,000 times. The way to get the peel off of the garlic is just to go like this, hit it, and then your peel just comes off naturally like that, and you can chop it. But because we're doing this so rough, we're just going to take, because we're just looking for a really fun rustic flavor, just like this. Okay, we're going to take that and throw it right into, come on back over here with that camera, yeah, right back into our bowl. Now, the secret to vinaigrettes, to binding it together, in other words, so when you whisk it together it doesn't come back apart, is to put a little mustard in. We don't put the mustard in really for the flavor. I mean, the flavor's okay, but what it does is it really binds it together. Now, there we are. We're going to add to this a pinch of Italian seasoning. I like a little crushed red chili in mine. It gives it just one little extra bite. You can put in brown sugar if you like. You don't need to. And then you always finish it up with a little black pepper, fresh, and a touch of just a nice heavy salt, like a kosher salt. Okay, that's ready. So what we're going to do now, and you know what, I'm going to add a little more olive oil because I have a little more vegetables. So that ought to be just about right like that. Okay, now we're going to take our acorn squash, just like this, drop it down in here, and what you want to do is just turn it over a few times. We're going to grill a lot of vegetables in this today, so what we want to do is just get our squash coated, and we're going to put that on the grill first, because the acorn squash and any of your like root vegetables like beets, or if you were doing like a potato, they're going to take 20 or 30 minutes over a very hot coal to become soft enough to match these other vegetables. So let's go on over to the grill. Follow me here, and we will take these. We're going to leave our vent in the top of the grill open so we've got a good high heat. We're going right over our coals just like this. And it'll probably flame up a little bit. That's fine, because as soon as you close the top, I can get this out. There we are. As soon as we close the top, if it does catch on fire, that fire will go right out. See, there it is. And just like that. While we're waiting for our acorn squash to finish cooking, we'll do the rest of our vegetables. Now, one thing I like to talk about when I'm prepping vegetables for grilling, a lot of people, when they cut things, they always cut it the same way. Like, you might take your zucchini and do this. Well, one, that's going to fall through the grates, and you're going to lose it, and it's just not that exciting. So why not try to get some really fun shapes out of it? See how I get some length in this? And it really looks wonderful on the plate. So just go for length. Don't worry about that end on there. That's fine. Just like that. And this, and that. Now, we're going to move to our mushrooms. Once again, you could cut steaks out of it, or you can really get an angle on these, and these make really nice, I go about a 1/2 inch thick, really nice big, almost mushroom steaks. This is something that the vegetarians just adore, and if you're trying to eat less meat or less red meat, this is a really, really nice way to do it. Let's throw all these right inside here. Now, the other flavors I like are red onion, and with the red onion I just like to do rings. So I'll cut my ends off, and just about, really 3/4 of an inch thick is about right. And I just use these 2 pieces. I'll save these others for stock. We're going to just throw those in just like that. Don't worry about it coming apart. And then you can do the classic on a bell pepper, or these are the yellow bells. You can do a ring like this, which those are kind of fun, but what I like to do, we'll do this whole one like this. Just like that, and get that right there. And I put every bit of this on, just like that. We might put that there. Now, What I'll do with these, though, to get sort of a different cut, is just take the sides off. See how nice that comes off? And what that does, it takes that center out of there, too. Just like that. Come on. Down there like that, and go like that. These are in. And then like this. Cut the sides off. There you are. And we'll do our asparagus by itself later on. We're just going to mix this up. I use my hands. It's a little messy, but I think it works better. Just like that. Okay, let's head over to the grill. Open her up. Our acorn squash, take a look at this, is looking beautiful. That's almost done, so we can just slide that off the heat. The way that I do this, instead of pouring this right here, because this will flame up, I come over here and spread it out, trying to save some of the vinaigrette for my asparagus. I level it off, and then I'm going to bring it to the fire, just like that. Let's take our asparagus real quick, put it back in the bowl with the last of our vinaigrette. And the asparagus I don't like to mix up with the other vegetables, because if you do, it's going to fall through the grate. So let's go back over to the grill, see how we're doing. Okay, these vegetables are looking pretty good right here. We're going to turn them again in a minute, but before we do that, let's set this asparagus directly over the heat. And I know this sounds silly, but you don't want to run it with the grate, you want to run it against it. And look at this, this happens so fast. And asparagus is one of those things that you just are basically blanching it with heat. You're going to get a smoke flavor, a little bit of that darkness from the flame, just like that. And let's bring it away from the heat now, and we'll turn it over so we don't burn our hands. And while we're doing that, this other vegetable will do its thing. We just roll it over, get it away from the fire. See how it wants to cross up there? Okay. And you just want to pull your vegetables to this side of the grill, away from the heat. Set the tongs there. Everyone can serve themselves. You've got asparagus, you've got chilies, you've got peppers. Look at this. The acorn squash is delicious. You're going to love it. Try grilled vegetables. I'm Mad Coyote Joe with another kitchen quick tip. I'll see you next time.